2.07, point of view in academic or formal writing. Point of view.
I actually think they have school classes tomorrow, Corkill.
Do they?
I
Okay.
think so. All teachers are fully remote though.
Okay. Do we not attend class tomorrow then? So I guess you do have school. We do have school. Yeah, we have school. You said we don't have class. You have school tomorrow. All right. You have classes. In the past, there wasn't. Okay. Point of view for convention. Convention means a convention is a gathering of people, yes, but a convention is also an accepted rule that people have. There are conventions in writing, there are conventions in the theater, there are conventions in sports. All right, they're kind of like rules, they're rules. Point of view for convention. Point of view is the perspective from which an essay is written. All right, the following chart lists both the personal pronouns and the possessive forms used with these point of views. All right, so in English we have first person, second person, and third person, and we have singular and plural. So when somebody says don't write in first person, they're meaning don't use I, don't use me, my, mine, don't use we, us, our, ours, right? Second person is as like you're writing, speaking to somebody else. Second person singular is you. That's why people are saying don't use you. Don't use second person in your writing. Don't use you, don't use your, don't use yours. Don't use you, yours is a plural form either. Right? Third person is what we're often asking you to write in for this type of formal writing. Now, there is a time and place, yes, for first person, and there is a time and place for second person. And supposing you write this fantastic, amazing, the best essay ever written, say on a Regents exam, and the scores are scoring it, are they going to take off because you wrote in first person? It will be such a minute, tiny little fraction of a deduction that it won't even know. It won't even show up. You can still get a 4 out of 4. However, for the classroom, you need to avoid first person for now for this type of formal text analysis response, and avoid second person. Right? We will write third person with a she, her, hers, he, him, his, it, its, one, ones, them, they, their, and theirs. When choosing appropriate point of view for academic or formal writing, consider the type and purpose of the assignment. All right, think about who your audience is. Your audience in this type of writing is always a group of teachers or professors when you're writing a text analysis response, right? You're looking at it from that point of view. Let me go back. Okay. Consistency is key. When using any of the 3 points of view, maintaining consistency is vital. Switching between points of view can be confusing for the reader. Choose a suitable perspective and then stay with it. For example, this sentence right here is unclear in this type of text analysis response. The accident happened right in front of us, so you could see who was at fault. Right? The accident happened right in front of us, so you could see who was at fault. It's unclear when you're switching back and forth between point of view. So this has been revised. The accident happened right in front of us, so we could see who was at fault. So we could see who was at fault. There's 2 commas missing there. Right? So we take out you, change it to we. So when we talk about first person point of view is used to write stories, narratives, poetry, or examples about personal experiences from your own life. Note the following paragraph. Several people have made a lasting impression on me. I remember one person in particular who was significant to me. Mr. Smith, my high school English teacher, helped my family and me through a difficult time during my junior year. We appreciate his care, kindness, and financial help after the loss of our home in a devastating fire, right? There's a time and place for first person writing. You're going to have to use first person for your personal essays when you're applying for college next year. It's used in poetry, it can be used in dialogue, so forth, but not for the commentary or opinion or analysis in a text analysis response. Note, and here's why. Academic writing often requires us to avoid first person point of view in favor of third person point of view, which can be more objective and convincing, right? It's not that people don't care that it's your point of view. What happens is that if you switch to third person, it strengthens your point of view. Often students will say, I think the author is very convincing, right? Taking out the I makes a stronger statement or claim. The author is very convincing. The author is very convincing. Second, let me check something.
Morning, mister.
Good morning. Okay. Second person point of view. This is the one that I keep telling everybody, avoid second person. Second person point of view, which directly addresses the reader, works well for giving advice or explaining how to do something. A process analysis paper would be a good choice for using the second person point of view, as shown in this paragraph. So here's when you would use second person. In order to prepare microwave popcorn, you will need a microwave and a box of microwave popcorn, which you've purchased at a grocery store. First of all, you need to remove the popcorn package from the box and take off the plastic wrap. Next, open your microwave and place the package in the center with the proper side up. Then set your microwave for the suggested number of minutes as stated on the box. Finally, when the popcorn is popped, you're ready for a great treat. All right, so in that type of writing, yes, you're explaining directions to somebody, and you would use second person. But this is not a text analysis response right here in front of you on this slide. Right? Note, academic writing generally avoids second person point of view in favor of third person point of view. Second person point of view can be too casual for the formal writing. And it can also alienate the reader if the reader does not identify with the idea. So remember, a text analysis response is a formal type of writing. Right? You're not addressing it to, hello? You're not addressing your paper to one person, the reader. You're addressing it to society, to humanity, to all the readers. Another case in point would be when, like for Toni Morrison, people were writing in their sentences, Toni explains or Toni conveys. This is formal writing. You don't use the author's first name. You use the first and the last name or just the last name. Right? Let me get back to the screen. We're almost done with this lesson. Replacing you. Let us look at some examples. Inappropriate use of you is confusing. Right? Uprisings in prison often occur when you allow overcrowded conditions. Right? Uprising in prison often occur when you allow overcrowded conditions. Whether or not that's true, the thing is, are you the reader allowing the conditions? When you use you make the reader feel like it's them that is making the prison overcrowded. And that's not what you meant, right? So when you switch to third person, it strengthens the sentence. On the right-hand side, uprisings in prison often occur when the authorities allow overcrowded conditions, right? What we did was replace the you with authorities. It identifies who is doing what. Next. In Russia, you usually have to stand in long lines to buy groceries. All right. If I read that, I'm thinking, I don't live in Russia. I don't go to Russia to buy groceries. I get my groceries off Amazon freshly. Well, why are they telling me I'm doing it? Right? Are you the reader shopping in Russia? No. So it would have to be switched over to third person. Russian customers usually have to stand in long lines to buy groceries. It identifies who's doing what. The customers are buying the groceries. The reader isn't buying the groceries. In many states, you have prisons with few rehabilitation programs. All right. Me, I didn't make the prisons and I didn't make the programs and I didn't do any of it. Why are you saying me? It's not my problem. Do you, the reader, have prisons? I don't have prisons. All right. That's what happens when you write in second person point of view. You need to switch to the third. In many states, prisons have few rehabilitation programs. Identifies the actual subject of the sentence. Okay. And then there's third person. Third person point of view identifies people by proper noun, given names such as Ella Clark, or nouns such as teacher, student, doctors, or players, and uses the pronouns he, she, and they. Third person also includes the use of one, which is what we use a lot in this type of writing, and everyone and anyone. Most formal academic writing uses the third person. Note the various third person nouns and pronouns in the following. The bosses at the factory had decided that employees need a day off in-house training. Times have been scheduled for everyone. Several senior employees will be required to make 5-minute presentations. One is not eager to speak in front of others since she's very shy. Another one, however, is anxious to relate her expertise. The variation in routine should provide an interesting day for all people concerned, right? Not one single you or yours or yourself. Okay, so here's your assignment that we'll be due on Wednesday, 2.07, replacing you, point of view in academic formal writing. This is on the agenda and it's also in the assignments. I'm gonna just double check that I published it real quick.
I have a question, sir.
Sure.
Why can't we use like our for like general statement? Like what, like for example,
Okay, like give me an example. Give me an example.
like our planet, our Earth, or like, you know, like
This planet. You could use it if you're in that sense. You could, as in a style form, you could say that like once, but our planet, okay? But I think it's stronger when you say this planet. This planet belongs to all of mankind or all of humanity. It sounds stronger than our.
okay, okay. I have another question not relating to this, but
Mhm.
it's for like the evidence aspect. What if your evidence is not dialogue? Like how do you approach it? Like how would you integrate it if it's not dialogue?
How do you integrate your evidence if it's not dialogue?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
Well, okay. So I'm using this piece of evidence where he says, can I climb a mountain? You know, like
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
it's
Okay,
not,
so
but
that's
it's
the
not
narrative.
dialogue.
It's not dialogue at all. You don't have to use dialogue either. You're not stuck to using dialogue at all with textual evidence. It's all textual evidence. And for that quote, the integration will be very short. You're taking a quote from the beginning of the passage, so the integration will be very brief. All right. This is the narrator, by the way, right? This is from the narrator's point of view.
Yeah.
So early in the passage, the narrator reveals some of his adversities. For example, the narrator explains, and then you put the quote.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so 2.07 is going to be our assignment. You can get through it from back over there. You can get through it through the assignments page, or you can get to it through the agenda. All right, 2.07. Replacing you, point of view in academic formal writing. All right, after reviewing the 2.07 slides, rewrite each sentence by changing the point of view from second to third person. The 3 examples that I had on the slides are here. Uprising in prisons often occur when you allow overcrowded conditions. Okay. Uprisings in prison often occur when the authorities allow overcrowded conditions. So these are the same examples here, A, B, and C. And then there are a couple here that we haven't covered and I'm going to do with you. Okay, so example E says, these first ones are examples, these letters. Yours are down here to start. A, B, C, D, E. You should feel like you are good enough alone as you are with someone, as you are with someone. These are student writings as you feel. Okay, who wants a shot at this one? Who wants a shot at changing it to third person?
I'll do it.
Okay, let's see. Tell me what to type in, I'll type it.
Wait, it says you should feel like you are good enough alone as you are with someone. Wait.
If you have not done the same sheet from the weekend, start with that.
Wait, Mark, are you in class?
Yeah.
Does everyone
I'm
have
confused.
Headphones on?
What happened?
You have your headphones on because we can
Yeah,
hear
Miss.
you all.
Yeah. Yes, Miss. She's kind of loud.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Okay, so mute yourself, Mark, and anybody else want a shot to try? I will give you extra credit.
I could do it.
Okay, who's this?
Michael.
Michael, thank you. I don't have the names up there right now, Michael.
Okay, I wrote people should feel like they are good enough alone as they are with someone else.
People should feel like they're good enough alone, like what?
As they are with someone else.
All right, good. Oops. Cool, Michael, 10 points, plus 10. And I got one more. Who wants to take a shot?
I'll do it.
Who's this?
Nancy.
Nancy.
All right, so I wrote one has the power to confront. Where is it? Oh,
Sorry.
one has the power to confront and overcome their adversity.
Okay, good. If we don't know what adversity means, we just click right here. And it's a state or instance of serious or continued difficulty or misfortune. All right. All right, very good. Okay, so this is due on, today's the 2nd, therefore 11/04/2020. And tomorrow we'll get back to the writing. We'll start our next paragraph. Okay, so your assignment the rest of the period will be to finish the sentences, switch to the one on the left from second person to third person. Your legacy will be a product of your actions, not your promises. Right? Some of them have to do with some of the stories we read. Some of them don't. Approach them like you don't even know. Okay, it doesn't matter if you relate it back to Mama's Girl or whatever. Okay, any questions?